Now, with your lesson that we are going to give out, I've handed out some prayers, which are very, very interesting. I love the one for survival. I really do. It talks about scorched earth and all the rest of what you're feeling like, you're in a scorched earth situation. Great prayers, and that is taken from Thinking Grow Rich for Women, which I mentioned to you before. And it's a great book, but it's not only, I don't know why Bob, I'll show you what this is, what the other one is when you're finished handing out. By Think and Grow Rich by Sharon Lecter. It's a great book too. But it's not just for women, it's like the sister club that they have here, the financial club that they have here, it's for men too, because sister is an acronym for, I can't remember what it's an acronym, it's for, yeah. So the stress here too, as there would be in any situation, is the importance of understanding. If you really want to live in a prosperous state of being, you can only do that if you live in an attitude of gratitude, if you live in an atmosphere of gratitude, if you know that there's so much in your life for which to give thanks. That's the other one. And that means you're coming from a sense of havingness, not havingness. If I'm grateful for something I have. I'm grateful for something I experienced. So if I am grateful and I grow that attitude of gratitude, and in your handout you're getting a little worksheet that asks you to name 10 things that you really are grateful for at home, during the week. And I can remember Dr. Nita many months ago when I was in the practitioner class, told us to invest in a gratitude book and that every single day we're to write down 10 things for which we were grateful. And we went, 10 things wouldn't really be enough, kind of thing. But once we got into the practice of it, I mean, we went way beyond 10 things when you understand how rich your life is, how blessed your life is, and how much you have for which to give thanks. So gratitude is a numero uno thing in anyone who wants to experience great prosperity. So please don't forget that and pay attention to it. And as well as that, your treatment for this week for written homework is for the consciousness of gratitude. A treatment for the consciousness, write it down. It's not on your page, it's in your homework page. Write a treatment for the consciousness of gratitude. Write a treatment for the consciousness of gratitude. Write a treatment for the consciousness of gratitude. Those of us who are not too sure about treatment work, you just write down a paragraph on what will open you up to growing your consciousness of gratitude. So a treatment for gratitude would go something like this is, there's only one power, there really is only one life. And that power, that life is my life now. And I am its image and its likeness. I am one with that one power, one life. Therefore, I know I am a prosperous being. I declare that I am a prosperous being. And I'm open and receptive to knowing more fully every day of my life that I am a prosperous being. Prosperity flows effortlessly and easily through my life and all of its aspects. And I'm truly grateful that I should know this. I'm truly grateful that I am open and receptive to living this truth more fully with every breath I breathe and every moment I live, to be a demonstration of the truth of my being, that I am the prosperity of life happening now. And what I'm knowing for myself, I am knowing for every living thing and everyone on this plane, and all of creation. What I know, what I think, what I feel, what I demonstrate is prosperous. It is prosperous in only in every good way. And so I again declare for myself, I am the prosperity of life and action. And what I know to be true, I now release into the receiving creative process, the law of life. Knowing it responds to me immediately and affirmatively as I say it. And so it is. It should be a treatment for the consciousness of prosperity. But you can, yours will be yours. Just to give you, and the only reason why we use steps in prayer or treatment work is to allow ourselves to release and let go of any sense of lack. All we're doing is convincing ourselves. We're not convincing God. We're convincing ourselves that we are prosperous. So how long do I stay in treatment? Until I'm convinced. Until I'm convinced. That might only take a minute or two some days, and other days it'll take a week. To be continued tomorrow, you'll say. So, but that's what grows your sense of sensibility, is you telling it to yourself, telling yourself the truth, tell yourself the truth. It sets you free from the untruth. The untruth is that I am limited in some way or another. The truth is I am unlimited. So you tell yourself the truth until the truth shows up in manifestation in your life. That's how long you tell yourself the truth, until you're living it, experiencing it, and expressing it. Now on the page here they have pointers for discussion. And the first one is addressing faith. Oh, is that okay? Do we understand now what the consciousness of prosperity is all about? Yeah. All right, that's true of anything in your life that you want to demonstrate, whatever that is. You tell it to yourself. You convince yourself, you tell it to yourself. That's why we say you take the truth. You take the truth to the non-truth. And the non-truth is, I am in it in some way. That's a nonsense, the non-truth. And in declaring the truth of yourself, you are dismissing and diminishing the untruth. Any questions? Okay. Well, the first point for discussion says, discuss how faith plays an important role in demonstrating prosperity. We do not have faith in God up there to send good to us down here. We have the faith of God in its ever-present abundance. Does that make sense? Is that clear? We're good with that. Great. And then it says, expound on the concept that it is consciousness alone that attracts our prosperity, and that what we choose to think is possible becomes possible for us through the law of consciousness, the law of mind, the law of belief. Have we registered that now fully? That our life is a projection of our consciousness. We do not see life as it is. We see life as we are. That's scary at times. So, we don't see life as it is, we see life as we are. So whatever I think about life is what life is for me. If I think life is hard, life is difficult, life is whatever, then it is. If I think life is grand and great and glorious and fun and wondrous, then so it is. Thinking makes it so. Then he says, how will knowing that God is an ever-present abundance change the way you relate to life and the conditions around you? If you know God is, if you know God is on your side, if you know God supports you, if you know that God wants only your good, if you know God has your back, if you know you're never without God, always ever and ever present to you, a very real and present presence and to help, how would your life be? Would that not support abundance in your life? As I once heard in a Baptist church, my daddy is a king. I loved it. How would you feel if you knew your daddy was a king? A king who loved you to bits and pieces. Gave you everything your little heart desired of good. How would you feel? I often tell myself, my daddy is a king. But then I add, my mom is an empress. See, that's how we have to think. That's how we could think, instead of thinking in pauperish terms, which is the think in the have-not stage. God only creates of God's self. And what God creates, God contemplates and says, it is good, it is very good. You come from richness, you come from dominion, you come from divinity, you come from unlimitlessness. That's what you come from, that's your heritage. You have no other heritage. That's your lineage. Sovereignty is your lineage. So, take up the crown of sovereignty and wear it wisely and well, and rule your kingdom of consciousness wisely and well. No absentee now, landlords or kings or queens or empresses or emperors. Be present as you reign over your kingdom of life and consciousness.
So live as is.
Live as it is so, because it is so. Stop living as though it were not so. And that's what's wrong, if there's anything wrong with us all. We're living as though it is not so. The truth is not so for each one of us. Now, we're here, and it's lovely, and it sounds great, yeah, and we're gusto, and yeah, that's it, that's great, that's fabulous, yeah, that's the way I'm going to be. Get up tomorrow morning, and you stub your toe, whatever it is, and it's all out the window. Somebody looks crooked at you, it's gone. Somebody cuts you off the freeway, well, yeah, we go to another kingdom that we take dominion of.
So let's pause for a minute.
Yeah, you know, it's like emo saying, oh, I'll run out of the jet stream for a moment. Where he's in the jet stream and he's going and it's great and everybody in there is wonderful. Nothing is an effort. You're in the stream, you're going with the flow, it's taking you where you want to go. Yeah, well, we all have a jet stream that we could be swimming in. But are we? Oh no, we'd rather take our chances on that which is turbulent and truculent and demands too much of our energy. You'll know you're getting it right when everything ceases to be a struggle. When you stop struggling, you'll know you're getting it right. There is no struggle in God. Grace and ease, going with the flow. When you stop struggling, you know you stop swimming against your good. Turn around and you're going with the flow of it now. Yeah, it's a good thing. You know you're getting it when somebody berates you, insults you, or whatever, and you go, ah, she's having a bad day, he's having a bad day. No big whoop. Taste them, our word or two. You'll know you're getting it when that happens. You really know you're getting it when that happens. You don't want to slap them upside of the head anymore. Or wish for them their comeuppance. There is no them, there is no they, there is no us. There is no he, there is no she. There's only the one. Have you had that?
Yeah. One of the points somebody made 100 years ago when I was first in this teaching was the fact to give thanks for the good in everything. Whether it's somebody giving you help or somebody not giving you help. Give thanks for the good in everything. And perhaps even add, even though I don't see it now, because in everything, for whatever point it is, there is an element of good. So from the depths of whatever we can reach, we need to give thanks for everything that happens in our lives and the lives of those around us. And it's self-enhancing, so the good will continue to multiply even if you don't see it at the moment.
Indeed, indeed, and that's why Scripture says, in all things give thanks. It doesn't say when you're feeling good, give thanks. When life is good, give thanks. It says, in all things, give thanks. You see, thanks comes out of an attitude of gratitude. And out of thanks flows the desire to praise. You have a sense of gratitude, and then you become thankful. And then you're praising whatever it is that's giving you the opportunity to feel grateful and thankful. And so gratitude, thanksgiving, and praising then opens us up to being celebratory, opens us up to being joyous, opens us up to living our lives from a lighter energy, a higher energy. And the more we do that, the more we attract into our lives what makes us grateful, what makes us thankful, what makes us praise, what makes us joyous. It's a natural instinct in us to be grateful, to be thankful, to praise, to be enjoying, and to share it. It's just natural for us all. Very natural for us all. Okay. So how will knowing that God is an ever-present abundance change the way you relate to life and the conditions around you? If we know that God is an ever-present abundance, how would our lives change if we really knew that?
We would be more welcome to more situations.
We would welcome more situations that would make us feel more abundant. Anything else?
Well,
If-
it would be more fun.
Well, if I knew that God was a very real and present help, and that God was abundance, ever available and present to me, how would my life be? Oh, for heaven's sake, I wouldn't be afraid anymore, would I? I wouldn't be scared anymore. I wouldn't be worried about running out of whatever anymore, would I? I wouldn't be thinking in terms of shortage or scarcity or lack in any way if I knew that God was an ever-present abundance in my life. Wouldn't have any worries. Lord, for tomorrow and its needs I do not pray. I would enjoy the fullness of today. And because I'm enjoying the fullness of the day, I'm guaranteeing my fullness tomorrow. Because out of the granite of the consciousness of today, I build my tomorrow. You want to know how your tomorrow is going to be? Ask yourself, how was today? Because you'll get more of that tomorrow. And if you want your tomorrow to be different, well, jolly well change it today. Isn't it neat the way that works? I think it's a kicker, myself.
Every day's a new start.
Yeah, I'm delighted with myself when I get it right. Not so happy with myself when I forget. See? And you know, you can't forget for a second, you can't let up. Monitoring your mind, monitoring your mind, monitoring your mind. It's all about monitoring your mind. Because you take care of your mind, your emotions will take care of themselves. Because because feelings follow thinking. Thinking makes it so. So what are some of the reasons or excuses you once believed made it impossible or too difficult for you to prosper? In other words, what caused you to shoot yourself in the foot so many times? What was that slowed you down, crippled you? Fear.
Accepting limiting beliefs of other people imposed upon them.
Mm-hmm. Accepting false or erroneous things that other people, planted. Anything else? Fear and
Worry.
erroneous worry.
No expectations.
No expectations. Oh, low expectations. Low expectations, yeah. I just read today that worry is the very same as praying for what you don't want. Worry is praying for what you don't want. Worry is praying for what you don't want. That's what worry is. When you're worrying, you're praying for what you don't want. Not a good practice. Not a good practice. Worry, anxiety, fear. That which I fear the most has come upon me, said Job. And it's ever been thus. Discuss the concept that you don't become rich because you decree it over and over. You are rich because of your spiritual inheritance and your recognition of it. Oh, it is simple, but the simple doesn't equal easy. Simple never equaled easy. Sounds, as I say, when we're here together in class, it's all wonderful, and it's yeah, of course it's good. Yeah, of course that's true, yeah. Yeah, I know that, yeah. Yeah. Because what are we doing? We're here in one mind, with one energy. We're focused on the good and only the good. We are focused on the affirmative and only the affirmative. That's what we're focused on when we're here, in one mind and one energy. See? And it's great. But when you get out into the turbulence and the turbulence of dissonance of energies, it's a little harder to steer through that. You have to have your wits about you.
Just a comment for mistakes I've made is seeing my prosperity coming out of some particular
Outside of yourself.
direction. Yeah,
Outside of yourself, instead of from within yourself. Yeah. Then
So
over
it comes from this
there, or
person,
that
this
over here,
opportunity, and
yes.
opportunity and that contract, this
Yeah.
situation.
It's I'll be prosperous when. And the when usually has to do with this happening out there, that happening out there, and the other happening out there. And the thing is, I am already prosperous, and I will demonstrate it when I truly believe that. That's the truth. Prosperity, or whatever it is, health or wealth or loving relationship or creative expression, whatever that is. And the truth is, I'll be prosperous when I wake up to knowing I'm already prosperous in that. And I can own it and claim it and know it and state it and declare it in a way that makes it so.
I noticed when I dress a certain way that I like, that I truly like how I like to dress, that's always been associated with prosperity ever since I was a kid. Selling newspapers downtown LA, I would look at the business people with the suits on and I said, wow, I want to dress like that one day. I don't need to wear suits, but as long as I'm wearing something that I really like, from my socks to my underwear to my everything, just really enjoy everything I have on. And I feel so prosperous when I do that. And then when I put on something like, I'm tired, let me just do these, and just I gotta go outside,
Your energy goes to what
Oh,
you,
yeah.
the bagginess in the pants becomes the bagginess in your energy, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't want to wear the good stuff. Wait, I don't want to put that on because that's not that's a little bit too nice for a work, you know, and you kind of, you know, you like, that's like denying my good, because when I dress well and I feel well about the way I'm dressed, I'm on fire. I don't know, that's just me. I'm on fire. My shoes are nice, my socks are
Well, that's
soft.
why they say dress for success.
Yeah, I just, you know, that's the key for me to just, you know, in this class.
Well, we are very visceral creatures, visual, we're very visual and very visceral. It's even in food, they say, if it doesn't look good in your plate, it won't seem to be as appetizing or as inviting as when it looks great. I mean, we don't take pictures of the plate of food that looks like, you know, it's all mushed up together and send it to somebody. Now, I don't know why people send pictures of what they're eating to anyone, number one. I don't mind. If that's what turns you on, take all the pictures of your food by all manner or means. But the only time I've ever taken a picture of food was when it was so gorgeous, the presentation was so phenomenal. And I took the picture for myself, not to send to anybody, but just for me. See if you could replicate some of that kind of loveliness. But it's so, in fact, it's so beauteous and so appetizing, you don't want to cut into it. It's a work of art. And so dressing for success is to dress in what makes you feel the best of yourself, the most comfortable with yourself, and the best. And we all have clothes that does that for us all. We know when we've settled for just, and it's always the time you're going to bump into somebody that matters to you if you're not dressed properly. And you will invariably bump into those people because that's your kind of, oh, I'll just make do with this. You see? I'll just make do with this. Now there are comfy, beautifully casual designer clothes too. So I mean, but again, it has to do with the feeling. Some people, on the other hand, can wear a sack, and because they feel so great, that's what will come through. You know, it's an interesting thing. But yes, clothing is important. Clothing is very important. The outer skin is important too. So, discuss Butterworth's statement. Your most important asset is the conscious control of your own life. Your most important asset is the conscious control of your own life. Can you say right here and right now that you have conscious control of your own life? And that's a rhetorical question. So you'll be asking yourself that during the week. Do I have conscious control of my own life? Or whom or to what have I abdicated that control to?
But isn't it more important to have control over the subconscious part of my life?
That has to do with your own life. You're not going to have control over your own life if you don't have control over your consciousness.
No, I'm talking about that subconscious.
Yeah.
So they have to be in alignment, conscious and subconscious.
Consciousness and subconsciousness must come into alignment. For example, I can tell myself until I'm blue in the face that I had $1 million job. I have $1 million job. At least $10,000 a month, free and clear, comes to me as my income. And then the pit of your stomach is going, yeah, in a pig's eye it is. Yeah, you've got another harebrained scheme. Well, we know what happened to all your past harebrained schemes. Ain't gonna happen, sorry to tell you. So, if you're still getting that in the solar plexus and those kind of thoughts that echo over what you're declaring for yourself, guess which one is going to win? Because this is a feeling thing, it's a feeling thing, and the feeling is matching the statement. The parroting of something is not necessarily a feeling thing, and it won't work for you until it becomes a feeling thing.
And that's when the law corresponds to that.
So how can we change subconscious mind?
Well, you keep taking the truth to the untruth, and it begins in mind, in your conscious mind. You keep telling yourself the truth, whether you believe it or not, whether you feel it or not, whether you think it deeply or not. You just keep beginning with telling the truth to the untruth. in your mind until you get a little bit of feeling to attach itself to what you're telling yourself. And when you get a bit of feeling and another bit of feeling and another bit of feeling, you begin to create the vortex of energy that will draw into itself what the nature of the vortex is. If I really believe it and feel it, and I'm creating that vortex of energy, then I will suck in, because it's a magnetic field, the vortex of energy is a magnetic field, it will suck unto itself what is like itself. And that's how that happens. And so, then there are two other points. Each person has their own thoughts and feelings under their own control. We are not victims of anything unless we allow ourselves to be. And we want to turn any sense of victimhood into victorhood. And then traditional religionists would insist that we owe it to God to give Him thanks for all our blessings. Fact is, it doesn't make any difference to God whether you thank God or not, but it makes all the difference in your world. We give thanks not because God requires it, we give thanks because we need to feel that energy that throws us into celebration.
One comment for me is that also when I'm getting ideas to bring great prosperity to me and say, oh wow, that's, like already you've given me 2 song titles tonight. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can hear it. I can almost hear the choir sing, I can blah, blah, blah. Or I have ideas that it's like, yeah, I can make that happen. And that's connecting that and that would be cool. And I can connect that and then present it to the world. And it can go viral, I mean, I get excited. That makes me feel prosperous too. Because I just get ideas and I'll be like, oh man, like the Paul Robeson. I don't know where that came from. I did the Paul Robeson. I made hundreds, I made thousands and thousands of dollars.
Well, it's one of your best things yet, in my opinion.
What's that?
That's one of your best things yet.
And so, it's like, I have all these things coming. And that really makes me feel prosperous too, along with the cashmere socks. So,
Yeah.
They do have them in commercials.
Well, yeah. As Dr. Bitzer says, there's a difference between drinking the $5 cup of coffee in a gorgeous hotel and eating a $5 meal in Norm's. There is a big difference in the feeling you feel in these places as you're there. And that's why, he used to always recommend to us that we go to some luxurious place, and even if it's just to get a cup of coffee, get the feel of what it's like to be in the beauty and grace of what money can do. Money can produce wonderful beauty and wonderful grace. Money is a good thing. And as Raymond Barker says, it's God in action. Money is God in action. And Aristotle way back when said, it takes a certain amount of wealth in order to take us to the point where we're focused enough to be able to go deeper into the important matters of life. Because if I'm scrapping and scraping and hungry and so on, that's not where my mind is on the greater, deeper principles of life. My mind is on just, abating hunger for the day. So, yes. And it's all in the mind. There you are. All summed up in that. It's all in the mind. It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind, and my mind too. Whatever that is, it's all in your mind. And whatever it is that's in your mind is going to show up in your life. Good class, everybody, but now the class begins. From here on until we meet again. You have to take the tools you've been given and you need to work the tools you've been given. Spend time every day on chewing and digesting this so that you can assimilate it. And once it's assimilated, it will show up in your life. So we're going to finish now with simply getting still, getting very quiet, just putting everything down, everything aside, allowing your mind to quieten, and allowing your body to quieten. And we're just going to be very quiet. Uncross ourselves so that the energy can flow. That's another thing to remember. If you're going to be in contemplation, if you're going to be in meditation, You want to make sure that you are unfolded, uncrossed, so that the energy in your body can flow. And when you're ready, you will now take a conscious connected breath. And another one, and this time connect with your breath. Feel yourself breathing in and out. And this time, when you breathe in and out, you breathe in to God is and out to I am. And you do that 3 times. So this is what I'm knowing now. I am open. I am receptive. I am ready for the prosperity of life to show up in my thinking, in my feeling, in my doing, in beauteous, abundant ways. I step out of my way, my egoic tendencies integrate with my spiritual awareness of the truth of my being. There is an alignment between the 2 aspects of my being, my egoic self and my divine self, so that in alignment, I allow that beautiful, awesome, opulent, magnificent abundance that is already within me and available to me to flow out from me in myriads of blessed ways. That is for my good and the good of all else besides. I am the prosperity of spirit in action. I am the fullness of life demonstrating. I am the wholeness of all that is good and whole and wholesome now. I bless myself into this prosperity awareness, and I bless all of life, and I praise its amazing abundance of beauty and grace and good. And I allow myself now to assimilate what I'm stating, what I'm knowing, into every aspect of my life and living, into every aspect of my mentality, my emotionality, my physicality, and my soul, so that I become the glorious, knowing, aware fullness of the truth that I am in expression. And I of myself do not do it. I simply allow the power and the presence within me to do it by means of me and as me. I am grateful. I am thankful. I am blessed. I am given to. I am all that I ever was meant to be right now. And it is good, and it is very good. What I know, the law knows. And I now declare this to be so as I say. And so it is.